Hey, welcome back, y'all. John and Corey out in the field with Easy Insights update number 3. Today is May 9th. It's a beautiful day. Had a little storm roll through last night. I think for the most part the bark was bigger than the bite, and here the dust is flying out in the field. So, Corey, we're out in the field here today looking at some imbibitional chilling. And what are you hearing from the countryside from the sellers?
So it seems like we've been talking about this early planting, cold conditions from the earliest part of the season. We've got corn that's finally starting to emerge. We can start to diagnose a few more problems. What are you seeing out of that early planting so far this year?
Yeah, so up until today, we've really been telling everybody that, hey, wait, be patient. So far, it looks okay. Let it come up out of the ground and let's start assessing it. So we found some stuff that was up out of the ground. Here you're looking at 10 seeds that we dug. These 10 were dug in a row. So you can see some of them have emerged, about 4 of them. So we got 40% emerged. The rest of them are at various stages of emergence. Notice that some of the seeds put on a radicle with no coleoptile. Particularly, the radicle went down and that coleoptile never even formed here. You can see it just nubbed right off, and that seed is not firm. It's very soft and mushy and squishy. This seed is dead. It's probably not coming up. So sure sign of imbibitional chilling there. The other thing that we're seeing as we dig these seeds is we're seeing some leafing out underground. So this is probably a combination of the slight crust that was formed early. It also could be a combination of what we're seeing for those cold temperature fluctuations. This seed here in particular, you can see that radicle grew completely sideways. The coleoptile chose to go the other way, never ever coming out of the ground overall. So what are some of the causes of this? What are we seeing out in the field? Corey and I excavated some seed furrow here to try to show you what we're actually seeing in the field. So we saw that the planters were following the diggers very closely behind. These diggers were actually digging pretty shallow. So here you can see the seed trench, the seed furrow, and what is actually pretty nice planting conditions. It falls apart fairly easily. Underneath that, where the digger never touched, we have this hard, packed, black dirt, sticky clay that is probably a few degrees cooler and a lot wetter. What could happen with these seeds as the roots start to go down is that clay could dry up, become more of a cinder block, and now you have your seed sitting on top of a cinder block. You might have some issues with roots going down later on in the season. So as we look at the seed trench and we kind of excavate that a little bit more to extenuate that conversation, you can see now all the way back through until you finally get to where that seed is being placed right here. You see all the way back through, we're finding that seed trench, and then it's just hard. You can't even barely pry up that dirt. It just comes up in flakes. So as you're out in the field digging and you're seeing some of these conditions, or if you have growers that were planting fields very close to their diggers, these are some conditions to look at and some things to look for.
So one last thing, John, we've got a lot of activity in the past week, but one thing that happened with late planting is the weeds got an early start on us. What are you seeing from some of these cultivators going through the fields and their success at killing weeds with the sweeps?
Yeah, so with the cultivators going through with the fields and especially with them shallowing up, this is from this field here. They didn't shallow it up. They missed some mare's tail. They missed some white cockle. They're probably going to have to come back here and clean it up. Some of the other stuff is we had some fields that were black about over a month ago, and you can see here we got some giant ragweeds that are a couple inches tall already. We're going to probably have to get out there and kill those weeds as well. So one of the things to do, make sure you got the right adjuvant in the tank, make sure you got the right herbicide in the tank at the right rate, and hopefully you can get ahead of these weeds before any problems are starting.
Anything else to leave us with, John, today?
No, I think, Corey, that wraps it up for this week, and we'll catch you in your neighbor's field.